Yes. Hang on, where is it? Here it is. Boom.
Yeah. So
it's like the longest heading ever. I don't know what I was thinking.
Chalk another one up for Clay. We talked about this a couple of months ago, maybe, and we were talking about how the IRGC, the Iranian army, the military, and the government has been backing Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis and all this other stuff, and they've been funding and equipping and training terrorist organizations all across the Middle East for a number of years. And the United States has already killed one commander of this organization within the Iranian army, and I said that should be the most dangerous job in the world, and every day you should be worried that you're going to get killed. Hey, here we go, right?
So this is the guy. This is the guy.
That's the guy, right?
Yep.
So
that's the guy.
And Israel has, as I understand it, they've said, yeah, that was us. We did it. So they tracked him. They had some intelligence on his location, and he was in a consulate in Damascus, Syria. And they flew an airstrike, and they blew the building to shit, and they killed him. And they said, you want to keep funding Hamas, who's harassing us, and Hezbollah and the Houthis and all this other stuff? That's fine. Put somebody else in charge because this guy's gone. And they took, chess piece came off the table, and they're zero remorse. Interesting though is what does that do? Like, what does Syria do? Like, because this is so the difference for those that it's not an embassy, right? So it's not embassies around the world are if you're in the U.S. embassy in Germany, you're actually in the United States. That's U.S. ground, right? A consulate is not the same thing. That is that's not it at all. So really what the Israelis did was they flew into Syria and blew apart a building owned by the Iranians in Syria on Syrian territory. So what does Syria do?
Right.
I think Syria is going to sit this one out. I think they're going to let this one go. I don't think they're going to do shit about it. But again, big step by Israel to say, put another guy in charge. And when you put him in charge, we're going to track that guy down and we're going to kill him too. If you guys keep doing this, we'll play this game all day. So good for them. I like it myself. I think it's, I was actually surprised it was them and not us, but good for them. But I called it.
You called it. We gotta start taking like a running tally. I need a board behind it, right? We can just check it right off and be like, yep, another one. Yes, you did call it for sure. It was so funny when we started talking about that. We're like, called it.
I called it. Yep. So on the even before that, and here's another. We'll touch this very, very briefly. And I missed it last week when you were gone. I just totally missed this. But there was the ISIS-K attack in Moscow, right? And they attacked the concert and they killed 100 and however many people it was. It was awful.
Awful.
The question that we all, and we'll keep this one short, but the question we all need to be asking ourselves is why? What, why in the world would ISIS-K walk into Moscow of all places and attack them? Listen, the United States, NATO, even the United Nations, we all abide by laws, even when it comes to fighting a war. Geneva Convention, law of land warfare. We have laws that we follow to make sure that war is conducted in a humane manner as much as we can. Okay. Putin and the Russians don't care. Like they could have poked any bear in the woods and they picked the absolute wrong one. Like
that was the craziest bear to poke.
I don't get it. I don't know why. Like ISIS-K, for those of you that don't know, is the Afghan branch of ISIS, right? And go back in history, very not all that long ago, but there's a pretty significant issue between the old Soviets and Afghanistan, right? It happened in '79. The Soviets invaded. They stayed there. They wrecked the country for 10 years, and then they left. But they've also stayed their nose out of everything that's been going on there for the last 20 plus years, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know why ISIS-K, after all this time, decided to poke the bear, the worst bear. The most rabid bear you could poke. He used to be a KGB officer. Like this guy doesn't give a shit. I don't understand this at all because the potential for repercussions here is high, and it has the potential to be very, very violent and very ugly. And he's not going to give a crap at all.
And just a little indicator of how different Putin, Russia handles things like this compared to, I don't know, let's just say us. Somebody bombs something, they live, they get taken into custody, they stand trial. Well, they do that too. But here's what these guys look like when they go. Now, the guy in the middle, okay? Now, Clay, did you I don't even know if I should say this to you guys, but what I read was that they cut his ear off and fed it to him. I'm pretty sure that's true by the looks of it.
Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't shock me at all. Not even a little bit.
Right?
Nope.
And I'm sorry if I just, grossed anybody out, military guy, cop's wife here, gallows humor. I mean, we're not too phased, but sorry for anybody who is. I mean, one more look at that picture. These guys had a really bad time after.
Listen, we put ourselves, I mean, think back, like dog collars at Abu Ghraib, waterboarding, all that stuff,
Right.
like all of that ended, in and around 2007, 8-ish, right?
Mm-hmm.
We put our own people on trial for stuff like that, right? I mean, we convicted people of doing things. And then, oh, by the way, when we did that, we started allowing, terrorists to, the privilege of our legal system, right? They sat in Gitmo, their lawyer would go in and they all had lawyers and fair trials and all this other stuff. They're not getting that out of Putin. Like, that stuff's not happening.
No.
Those three guys,
yeah,
I would be shocked right now if all three of those guys are still alive.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they are, they're wishing that they were not.
They were dead. You are correct. Yeah.
There's just by that picture alone tells you everything you need to know. And but I agree with you, Clay. I can't fathom why they did that, why they thought that was a good idea.
Find somebody else. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, NATO nation is the safest place to go. Go someplace in Europe. Go, if you really want to strike Westerners and all that other stuff, like that's the place to be. Russia is not it. Like, I don't, and this is one of those, like, Putin's going to be like, listen, I got enough going on in Ukraine. I don't have time to make this clean, and just go in there and just kill a bunch of them and be done with it and send a message. Like, this is going to be done mafia style. I'm telling you, this is going to get nasty. But I don't understand the strategic, thought process from ISIS-K to attack Moscow, all friggin' places.
Yeah, and they took credit for it. So it's not like, they're like, hey, I don't know what happened. They went rogue. Nope. And they're not. They're like, no, that was us.
Yeah, that was us. We did that. Like, you're an idiot.
I mean, holy cow. Talk about
really bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if there is some kind of master plan there on their part, we've certainly yet to see what that was. Yeah. And it's not going to fare well for them at all. No. At all.
Nope. Not even a little, which is fine. Good. Let them deal with it. Right?
Absolutely.
Then we don't have to. Somebody else can deal with it.
Absolutely.
And they'll put the hammer down. That's for sure.
They sure will. They sure will.